What up, y'all? Chargers Truther coming to you Tuesday. What is it, like the 7th or something of March? I'm out here on a lunch break. Sunny California, Northern California. Just checking in on you guys. It's been a pretty slow off season. You know, we got Mike McDaniels, the offensive coordinator. Really just out here making a video, check in. I'm still around. Letting the Chargers do what they do, but it's pretty much been a pretty boring off season. It's been pretty much somewhat of a boring few off seasons now under Jim Harbaugh. I know we're getting back to basics. We signed some guys like what is that guy's name? The center from the Commanders. What was his name? Tyler Bayadaj, Alec Ingold, football, Charlie Kolar, Cole Strange, some offensive line. We got Dalvin Tomlinson, re-signed Khalil Mack and Pipkins, Delshon Phillips. We lost Becton Johnson, Owe, St. Just, Jasir Taylor. It's not too bad. Anyways, offseason has not been flashy at all. Don't even remember the last super flashy move that the Chargers have made, but I guess we are waiting for the draft to come up. That's where we do most of our work pretty much. You know, a lot of people are probably gonna try and sell you guys that the Chargers are doing something different this year. Well, we went back-to-back 11-win seasons, made the playoffs both times and choked. And I'll tell you what I think is that we still are not strong enough in the trenches and just overall in general. That's how the Patriots whooped our ass. In the trenches, they dominated us. They were more physical. You saw Justin Herbert get freaking clobbered. Our offensive line was weak as fuck last year. We're signing minimal guys. Offseason still has a long ways to go, but I'm thinking that in this draft, we definitely need to get bigger. And I've been telling you guys, like I do every single offseason, you got to be, you know, I tell you guys this every video: size, strength, physicality, and aggression. Get bigger, get stronger, get depth, get balance. And yeah, you want to pepper in the flashy playmakers. Yeah, you need those weapons. I would like to get a deep ball threat. I like Chris Brazzell out of Tennessee. Speedy, big guy that can take the top off. We don't really have that deep ball threat guy. We are severely lacking that. Our best receiver last year was Keenan Allen, and you know, McConkey's a slot guy. We had Quentin Johnson, even pretty weak receiver group. Tight ends, we have a 5th round pick who did pretty well, but those guys were lacking in those areas as well. Running back, Amari Hampton was injured, so you know, obviously we lost our 2 tackles, which was fucking backbreaker to lose those guys. So we need to continue to build this roster throughout the whole thing, get these guys and keep the guys that are really you know, the guys that we need to keep pretty much. And I don't think we really lost anybody that's too big of a deal this offseason. We lost Owe, which he was pretty good for us. So it looks like, you know, we're steadily just building and continuing on this path. You know, we're not changing anything. We're not changing up. We're not taking a left turn or a right turn. We're not changing what the Chargers have been doing under Jim Harbaugh. We got Mike McDaniels. That's probably the biggest offseason move, the biggest difference. We're going to need him to get creative and to take the pressure off of Justin Herbert. For God's sake, take the fucking pressure off of Justin Herbert. This guy's, you know, that's why we hired Jim Harbaugh, pretty much, is to take the pressure off of Justin Herbert, to build a solid team. You know, it's not the Justin Herbert show. It should not be that. It needs to be the Chargers, the entire 53-man roster, the run game, you know, Amari Hampton. We need another running back. So what I see us doing in the first round is getting an offensive lineman. Hopefully there's somebody that's worth that pick. And what I would predict is going to happen, you know, obviously I think everyone would want that guy from BYU, I believe, that big old guard. but I doubt he's going to last till 22, and I doubt we're going to trade up in the first round, because that's not really, doesn't really seem that's what we do. We don't really trade and give up picks to move up. So what I could see us doing is us taking the second best interior offensive line, maybe even the third best interior offensive line. It might seem a little bit even like a reach, just like we took Omari and Hampton because Genty was gone. We didn't get the best person at that need, but we got the second best at, probably our biggest need at running back was last offseason, and it's a good pick. We just need this guy to stay healthy. We need to get more running backs to, take the load off of Hampton. One guy, you got to be stupid to think one running back can carry the load for the entire season. You need to have guys, and I know we just signed Keaton Mitchell. Hopefully he's going to be good. I would get another running back, fourth rounder before, to be honest. So I see us getting interior offensive line in the first round or second round, top 3 for sure, unless they're going to, I'd be pretty upset if not. I could see him. I mean, one thing about the Chargers is that we kind of have been building our team, kind of thinly, kind of flat. We don't have extreme glaring needs. Everyone is just pretty solid, pretty good. No, we don't have any crazy superstars other than Justin Herbert. It's kind of just somewhat of a rugged football team, but it needs to get better overall. Bring that entire depth quality up, and continue to be bringing that up every single offseason. Continue to build, keep who we need to keep, let go of the guys we don't need to. But obviously the questions are: is Justin Herbert an elite quarterback? And it's the most classic scale to rate the quarterbacks is the playoff wins, Super Bowls. Obviously that's what it is. We know how great Justin Herbert is, but Tom Brady was great because he was clutch, because he won in the playoffs, and that's what we need out of Herbert, but also out of the entire team. And you need to continue. Obviously we believe in Justin Herbert, but you need to continue to surround him with the best possible team. And obviously I'm not saying anything new, but like I've said in the past, like I've always said, it's about size, strength, physicality, and aggression. The Texans beat us in the playoffs because they out-physicaled us. They beat us in the trenches. They smacked us around. They bullied us. And so did the Patriots. Both times we were bullied. We need to be the aggressors. We need to smack. Do you remember when Tony Jefferson smacked the Chiefs guys? We were popping them around. We bullied them and we won. We swept them. That's how you win at football. You bully, you hit, you smack, you be the aggressors. You need to build the team in that way to become, this is not flag football. You cannot rely on speedy, dudes and all these cute little stuff. You need to line up and hit. And of course that cute misdirection and all that stuff comes afterwards. So maybe that's why we brought McDaniels, so we could have Harbaugh building that tough, core of the team, and then McDaniels comes to do that cute fucking misdirection stuff afterwards. So it's going to be another exciting season. I expect us to win, hopefully 11 wins, make the playoffs, maybe win the division. Chiefs, they didn't win the division. They didn't even make the playoffs. So you never know what's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting season just because the Chiefs were dethroned. They, for the first time in a very long time. So now it's up for grabs. Is it going to be the Broncos again, the Chargers, the Raiders, even with Mendoza? Who knows what's going to happen with that? I doubt it, but we'll see what happens when Mendoza comes to town. And or the Chiefs, are they going to be able to get it are they going to be able to get their shit back together? So it's going to be a very interesting season. But you know, it's time for us to put this shit together and to get some playoff wins, and to put, you know, Jim Harbaugh and everyone, you don't get forever to figure it out, even Justin Herbert. So if we lose, if we don't make playoffs yet again, you know, it's going to be very tough. It's going to be upsetting. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. These glasses kind of making a weird shape on me. But yeah, I'm just checking in on you guys. Chargers truth, they're still around. I'm telling you, size, strength, physicality, aggression, smack them in the mouths, build in the trenches, get bigger dudes, invest, protect Justin Herbert, win at the line of scrimmage. That's what you have to do. If you can't do that, don't expect to win. Texans beat our ass, out-physicaled us, bullied us in the playoff game. So did the Patriots. You saw Justin Herbert get pretty much knocked out. That was fucking horrible to watch. That should never happen again. And if it does, that's a fucking failure by Ortiz and Harbaugh and everyone in the Spanos and everyone pretty much. And I would like to see Ortiz be more aggressive. You know, we saw our two star tackles go out, and Herbert freaking having shit offensive line, and he didn't really do anything, you know. And you know, it culminated in our getting our ass beat and Herbert getting fucking knocked out in the playoff game versus the Patriots. You know, it's like, you saw what happened. You didn't do shit barely, and what you thought was gonna happen happened. So let's be more proactive. Let's do a little bit more. We have a huge amount of salary cap space. Let's fucking do shit. Let's start doing shit, you know? What are you gonna fucking take that salary cap to the bank? Cash it out? No. So anyways, that's about it. Time to go back to work. See you guys.